Hi everybody. Today we're going to talk about special cases when we're doing our switch order phrases and our parentheses and just kind of, bottom line, just translating verbal phrases in general. So you should have already completed this activity. You should have also already completed a word mat activity that yours is going to be all typed up. Mine is handwritten, but you should have completed this as well. So now we are going to talk about switch order. Okay, so what I mean by switch order is literally these are some words that are going to switch the order when we talk about writing the expression. Okay, so remember on our little word mat that we created, there were some words that were on this side, which we called the switch order side. This side we keep the same order that they occur in the sentence, but this side we literally switch the order from them. Okay, so those words are fewer than, less than, subtracted from, and divided into. So the word than is going to be something you're looking for. You're looking for from and also into. Okay, so those phrases are the ones that are going to cause us to switch order. So we have a couple of examples for that. We have example 1 and example 2. Now here's my way, it's a foolproof way of working with the words to make sure I put them in the right order. Okay, so step 1, you're going to circle the switch order phrase. So if you see any 4 of these phrases, you're going to circle it. Okay, you could also highlight it, whatever works best for you. So in example 1, it says 5 less than 2 times x. Less than is my switch order word, so I'm going to circle it in my words. And then it says underline the amounts before and after the phrase. So before the phrase I have a 5, and after the phrase I have a 2. Now the 2 is not the only thing I have. I also have that 2 being times x. So that's the whole thing I underline there. And then you're going to switch the order. So instead of going 5 minus 2 times x, we're going to go 2 times x minus 5. We're going to switch the order that we go through the sentence. So this means 2x, and this means subtraction. So this means 2x minus 5. I'm going to read it backwards. So this one is 2x minus 5. Okay? So it's actually pretty easy, right? All right, let's look at example 2. It says 8 times 3 subtracted from 3x. So subtracted from is my switch order phrase. And what's before it and what's after it? 8 times 3 is before it, and 3x is after it. Okay, so this is 8 times 3, that's 8.3, and then 3x. So we're going to switch the order. It's going to be 3x minus 8 times 3. Okay, so that's the switch order. Now, the next thing I want to talk to you about is parentheses. So if you look in the parentheses part on our word mat, all of these have the same phrase. They all have the, and then they say product, sum, difference, quotient, and then they all say of. So they all have the same words at the very beginning of the phrase and the very end of the phrase. So if you see the product of, the sum of, the difference of, or the quotient of, that means you're going to use parentheses. And just like with switch order, I have a really special way to talk about that. Okay? And so we're going to say it's the operation of something and something. So whatever operation that you read right here in this phrase, that's what's going to go on top of the and. Okay? So if you say, I want to know the sum of something and something, then you put a plus sign over the and. If you want the difference of something and something, then you're going to put a minus sign over the and. If you want the quotient of something and something, then you put division. If you want the product of something and something, over top of and you put multiplication. So I hopefully have, I have an example of each one. So let's look and see. So here we go. Oh, also, when you see this phrase, the something of, immediately after it, we're going to put parentheses right here around whatever it is and whatever the other thing is. That's where we put the parentheses, okay? So the operation of, open your parentheses, underline and underline, And then remember, and is going to have that operation. Okay, so let's read. 2 times the sum of 4 and x. So here is that phrase, the sum of. So that means after this phrase, the sum of, I'm going to open my parentheses, 4 and x. So then I can close my parentheses. Since it's sum, that means that my and is going to be addition. Okay? And so now I've marked it up. It's 2 times, and then it's parentheses 4 plus x. That's all you do. Okay? Now some people, it might bother you to see the times sign. You could just write 2 times 4 plus x. You don't have to put that multiplication symbol, that dot right here. Okay? Alright, number 2. 5 times the difference of. So there's the phrase, the difference of. And now we're going to put parentheses around 3 and x. So now I know that and is going to go with difference. So what operation am I going to use? So above the and, I'm going to put a minus sign. And then it's just 5 times parentheses 3 minus x. Now remember, you don't have to put that multiplication symbol. You could just write it like this. Okay? Number 3, the quotient of. So it immediately starts off with this phrase, the quotient of, and it's 4 and a number times 3. So I'm going to put all that together. So that means the and here, what does the and mean? Well, it's quotient this time, so that means division. And then when you see that phrase in number, that's going to be x times 3. Okay? So we're going to say 4 divided by parentheses, whoops, not parentheses, it's on the outside. So read along. Parentheses 4 divided by x times 3. Parentheses 4 divided by x times 3. Okay? Now that can be written mathematically a bunch of different ways. So we could also know that this is supposed to be 3x. So this could be a fraction, 4 divided by 3x, because that means 4 divided by 3x. Okay? Or it could be written as 4 slash 3x. Okay? Alright. Last one. Twice the product of. So here is the product of, and it's 3 and a number. So parentheses around 3 and a number. So we close up the parentheses here. Because remember, it's something and something. Remember, a number means x. Product is going to make my and a multiplication sign. So this is 3 times x. Twice means 2 times. Is means equals. So my phrase is 2 times parentheses 3 times x parentheses equals 15. So 2 times 3 times x equals 15. Now, normally we don't write the dots, so it might just say 2 times 3x like this. That's probably how you would see it if it were multiple choice. Alright, thanks so much for watching. Have a nice day.